This One's Wife. Insta Basic. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Imagine you've purchased an award to have the world know that you've been declared a humanitarian of the year. Some dopey individuals are taken in by that and think that it's true. Many other people don't give a rat's ass, and others are simply sceptical, recognising that you've paid cash dollars for the purposes of receiving the award. You go to New York City with your husband, once again leaving behind your children for a number of days because, of course, you matter more than they do. Whilst there, you spend your time spouting the usual fridge magnet platitudes, wrapping your fingers around the microphone, which becomes your new best friend. You come out with your usual beige word salads, telling us all about how necessary and important it is to let children be children, to protect children, to ensure that they don't experience online harm. You flex your supposed charity credentials, all part, of course, since you're a narcissist, as the assertion of control over the audience and the wider viewership, the receipt of fuel from people's reactions, and the management of your facade. But the whole purpose of the trip was related to the issue of receiving an award and being an advocate for the protection of children in an online environment and protecting children as a whole. That's the point of it. What do you then do? Demonstrate what a basic Insta individual you are by taking to your social media and posting this. Yes, another video posted to the Instagram account, the personal Instagram account of This One's Wife, demonstrating yet again how she cannot resist the attraction, the pull of the social media account. It's an easy fix for her to show off for the purposes of asserting control over the audience and drawing fuel by way of their reactions. The footage is accompanied by Dina Washington's If I Were a Bell. I've omitted that to avoid any copyright issues. You're not missing anything by not hearing it. So what do we get from This One's Wife? Well, it starts off by demonstrating that she's in an aeroplane. Yes, because we hadn't worked out that that's how she would get to where she's going. There's what looks like to be a cookie, an NYC taxi, which she has to demonstrate to us because she's in New York, because we weren't aware of that. Just as she did with one of her Balenciaga videos, which showed her clod-hopping along, we are treated to her feet on a carpet, and then she's showing off all of her shoes. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs of shoes in her hotel. And then a pair of sneakers as well. And then she shows off her clothing, which, unsurprisingly, is heavy on the beige. We see the Prince of Pink Pancakes looming in the background. Apparently he's a fox. He's stood there dressed in grey. Naturally, he's included to show, see, we are together. Next, apparently channeling Victoria Beckham, who was seen recently in her Netflix series putting her own makeup on. So the crying makeup man, he's been dispensed with for the time being, as This One's Wife now decides that she's going to channel Victoria Beckham and show us that she can put makeup on herself. Such a talented woman. A little glimpse of her in the mirror as she puckers up for the lipstick. Fascinating stuff. A retread showing this one's wife and Harry on the red carpet, but of course she selects the I'm giving him the admiring look, and he's not bothering to look at her because he's not really pleased. And then we see the colour version of the staged, oh, you're so funny, Harry, oh, and the fake laugh comes out. Then we see some carbohydrates, some pizza, which she probably doesn't eat. She just holds it up. Oh, right. Now we see what she was here for. Project Healthy Minds. Naturally, picture of her with a microphone. And then she stood with a tattooed ginger. No, Harry hasn't suddenly gone out and got a couple of sleeves done. I suspect that's Ed Sheeran. And he was probably just wandering past and in the same place because, again, it looks like it's at the hotel. And so he's popped by to say hello, or he's been ambushed by this one's wife. Talking of ambushing, she ambushes Gloria Steinem. More about that in a separate video. Then we get to see some food, some water is poured, and then she's going across a bridge. Absolutely fucking fascinating, I'm sure you'll agree. Accordingly, the whole purpose of that trip was for her to receive an award and be an advocate in relation to the protection of children online. And what do we see? It's all about her. Look at me with my shoes, look at me with my clothes, look at me with my New York City taxi cookie. Look, there's my husband. Look, here's Ed Sheeran. Look, here's me with Gloria Steinem. Look, here's me having some food. Look, here's some pizza. Look, here's me putting my makeup on. Oh, and by the way, Project Healthy Minds. It demonstrates very clearly that the sole purpose of this trip is once again to make it all about this one's wife, because she is a basic Insta whore. The fact is that social media is irresistible to her because her narcissism sees it as a very simple way for her to get to the prime aims. And rather than show any class or elegance, because we know she has none, rather than make it about the charity that she supposedly was supporting and advocating for, instead we're treated to this collage of everything about this one's wife. And other than allowing us to understand it's yet more of her narcissism manifest large, it's not particularly interesting, is it? Some shoes, some clothes, in a hotel room again, husband in a hotel room, the back of Ed Sheeran, Gloria Steinem getting ambushed. It's hardly interesting. But this one's wife thinks that it is, because she believes, of course, that everything revolves around her. And her taking to Instagram in this fashion underlines the necessity of the use of social media for this particular narcissist. But it also sends a very clear signal to Project Healthy Minds, if they actually were paying attention, which is, you were the sideshow. I was the star of the show. You don't really matter. You are just an afterthought. What matters is everything about me and what I was doing. Self-absorbed, self-obsessed, the somatic narcissist, the middle range type A narcissist, showing off again on social media. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for watching.